Hello, everyone. This is Hey Stella with mihgt. I am so happy to be back to doing the episode. Last week was the first week since I started the podcast where I was on vacation and I did not do an episode. So it was kind of awkward to not have it scheduled. I was looking forward to come back and to do it even better than the 25 episodes that I have already done. I wanted to see if there's any possibility that we can improve the podcast and also try to talk about different things that are important to all people. Things that happen the week before, things that happen socially, things that happen politically, things that happen in the entertainment business, as we have the third one. For the last 2 weeks, I would say the most important few things that are coming to me right now would be the film House of Gucci with Lady Gaga, Jared Leto, Al Pacino, Jeremy Irons, directed by Ridley Scott. That's been getting a lot of reviews. Some are good and some are bad. I have not yet seen the film as I am waiting for it to be streaming. I'm still not comfortable enough to go into the movie theater, to be honest, to see it. But from the few trailers that I have been able to watch, I can tell that I'm agreeing with the reviews of those people who said, one in particular, the filmmaker and the fashion designer, Tom Ford, who said he felt that he had just been through a hurricane after seeing it, and he did not know if the movie was a farce. He didn't know if he was supposed to laugh, he was supposed to cry. And that at some point, Al Pacino and Jared Leto reminded him of a sketch from Saturday Night Live. I'm, of course, trying to remember to generalize the things that he said. I don't know word for word. I was thinking about having those kind of, do I laugh? Is it supposed to be a farce? Is it caricature? Is it Saturday Night Live? And I am trying to address these kinds of confusions of the movie. If you do not know if you're supposed to laugh and you feel awkward when you're laughing and you're confused about what kind of a genre this is it a farce? Is it a realistic film? Is it a fiction? If you have those doubts, those are not doubts when watching something that's made to be of quality. When you are having those doubts, there's something going on with the film that is not positive. And only from having seen minutes of it, I was already able to tell from the accent of each one of them being so different between them. The point that I was making when speaking about the accents being so wrong have to do with so much more than them getting the accents to be on point. I think at some point Tom Ford was actually being nice and he was applauding Lady Gaga for her performance. And also he was being kind about the performance of Adam Driver. About Lady Gaga, he said, okay, so she has an accent that sometimes moves from Milan to Moscow. But so what? Well, it's not so what. I don't believe that it's so what. To me, it is important that the accent be done and be worked on with someone specifically that is going to guide you into who that person was, not just in the way that she spoke, but in the way that then you can go inside and find the humanness to who she was. If you're starting with the accent that is a general accent, Russian, whatever it sounds like, but it doesn't sound Italian at all, having that not been taken care of in your training for that particular character doesn't allow for other findings, doesn't allow for the analytical understanding, and for you, the actress, to be able to get into the essence of who this woman was, so you can, through your uniqueness of who you are, through your interpretation as the actress, can do her justice. But if you haven't done the most superficial, the most exterior element, if you haven't worked on that to be specific and to be precise, then the rest is not going to click. The rest of it is going to be a generalization in behavior. So it's not just about the accent, to say that it doesn't matter that the accent moves from Milan to Moscow, so what? But it's not about that. It's about that not allowing for you to then discover so many other important clues and how to get into this character, to be able to portray her in a way that is going to be specific. And only you, through a lot of training by yourself or with an acting coach, can do. I think that people don't understand how difficult great acting is. And I also think that people have a misunderstanding about the fact that those great actors who are able to constantly give of themselves to the characters, surprising nuances of who they are working very hard every time they take on a new role. They are those who understand that the work, the training, the education of the actor does not cease. You do it and you continue to do it. Every time you take another character on, you have to work as hard as you did for the last one. You don't start in the middle of it because you've already achieved the character in your last film that was well received and it got nominations and awards. And then you kind of go, oh, okay, so I've done it. I don't have to do that work anymore because now I'm a method actress and I know how to do it. You have to go back into the new script, beginning from zero again, writing down the understanding of what the words give you in the script, looking at between the lines to find out what the subtext is, which is the most important because the characters are people. And as we are in everyday life, most of what we think and we believe, we rarely say. The words that are written in the script or the conversations that we have with people are pretty much on the surface. We don't go very deep, but they have to go very deep. The actors will portraying the characters, they must go very deep because they only have those 2 hours to show a whole life of the character. So in those 2 hours, they have to show the whole life that character lives in their however many years they live in their real life or fictional but real for the actors. The glimpses into the private living of the characters have to be unveiled, because you only have 2 hours to represent who they are. You don't have a whole lifetime. You don't have a show that's going to go on for as long as those characters lived. You only got 2 hours. So you have to compress everything. Therefore, you have to open yourself up as the actor and give yourself to those characters much more than you even have to give yourself to your own life. That's what it is. So you do not fall into the general way of behaving, which is, oh, I'm Italian, therefore I'm going to do Italian accent. And I move my hands and I go here. You know, that sounds that means that I haven't done the work. You have to do the work. You have to have a coach that's going to be with you on set, that's going to correct you, and it's going to call you out when you're not getting the specific, the vowels. I understand that, even though for me, because I already have accents in every language, that's why I say I speak a language somewhere in between Romanian and American, because I have an accent already. It's very difficult to hear other accents, but even with my hard hearing of other accents, those accents are not Italian, because the vowels are the one, the vowels. Patrizia, Patrizia. There is like a whole way in which the vowels are being made longer and the consonant very ripped almost. It's almost like you're slapping the consonants. I'm not a vocal coach. I'm not an accent coach. I know how to do my work when it comes to acting. But I'm just wondering then, you know, the director, Ridley Scott, who is a legend, and everybody says, oh, Ridley Scott, he's a legend. And they just considered that because he had a wonderful career and he's had a lot of successful movies, again, the same as the actors, that doesn't guarantee that he's going to direct every movie and every movie is going to be great. This one, I can guarantee that I'm not going to take back what I'm saying, even when I watch it, because it's all there in the clips. He had no idea how to stop these people, because he was probably himself in awe of the fact that he got a cast of so many famous people. So it's very difficult if you don't trust yourself when you're doing something. And I don't think he trusted himself enough to represent a family that's a real life family. I think he was a little bit, this is just my guessing, my interpretation. I think he was a little bit probably afraid to stop them and say, why is everybody here having a different accent? I mean, I'm just wondering, did he notice that? Did he suggest that they should hire a coach on set? Or was he just in awe of the fact that he's got this huge cast of famous people, from Lady Gaga to Jeremy Irons to Al Pacino to Salma Hayek and everybody else? And that also, to me, is such a slap in the face to so many actors out there. And I know I say this all the time, but why is it that all these actors that you can probably count on your 2 hands, 10 fingers, are working all the time? Why are they in every project? Not only do you see the same people in every movie, but now you see them in all the commercials, movie, television, big screen, small screen, podcast. Don't you have enough? Don't you want to give some space for other people to come and to get a little bit of work themselves? Why is it that the same people are being hired? the same people, the same name. I don't even think that people, the audiences, are actually interested in going to see movies because there are stars in them anymore, and that's how they make money. I don't believe that. I don't believe that being one of the motives. Oh, it's because people go to see movie stars. I don't think anybody cares about that, especially since the pandemic took over. I don't think people care about the elites, the stars, the politicians. I think we just saw that we're all in the same pot. We're all in the same, at the same level. It doesn't matter, star, money, no money. We're all mortals. We're all dying of this COVID that's been around for 2 years now. It doesn't matter that you have a mansion. It doesn't matter that you've done I don't know how many films. So why are you not allowing somebody to come that might surprise you? Take risks. Those people, directors, Ridley Scott. Why would you not hire somebody that speaks Italian? Why would you not hire cast in Italy? You could have done it as a director. Why not do it with people who already speak the way they're supposed to be talking, and give the opportunity to some Italian to become internationally known? Why not? No. Again, the point that I want to make with this is to remind myself and to remind a lot of people that because you have done a job in a previous film where you actually were great, as Lady Gaga was in A Star is Born with Bradley Cooper, because she had the director, Bradley Cooper, she had the actor, Bradley Cooper, who understands this work. And he's been doing it since I've known him for 20 some years when we went to the same school together. He's been doing it over and over and over and over again. He puts in the training, he puts in the education that he has studied. Every time he goes into a character, he starts, I'm sure, from the zero, because we were taught to do it that way at the Actor Studio MFA program when we were in the same classes. And I remember our scene teacher, Sam Schacht, Bradley and I were doing a scene, and I remember Sam Schacht was stopping us, and he said something like, Bradley, are you looking at this woman? Can't you see? Are you looking? She has big breasts. Are you seeing her big breasts? Or something like that. And it was like, we were so embarrassed and so shy. And the reason why there's so many reviews very similar to what Tom Ford, and I think he was actually being very polite about it. I don't think that he was addressing the criticism to the people. And the same way when I'm talking about something that was bad, I'm not referring to the personal people that I'm talking about. I'm talking about their art. I'm talking about their acting. That has nothing to do with their person. They're wonderful people. They're amazing human beings. Yeah, this just does not seem like the job was done the way that it could have been done with the right cast. The fact that you're not choosing the right cast is because you just want to go with the people, the same ones, the same 10 people that you can count on your fingers, and you want to just go with what's comfortable. So you're going with what's comfortable because you know that they're stars and you think they're going to make money, because you're afraid that your work is not going to be valued. So you're basing the success and the finished product to do with the movie stars, and with them the audiences will come and the money will come, because you don't trust your work. Trust your work, trust the work, and hire people that you might not know very well, because they might bring you some inspiration, and you might even come up with some ideas for the movie that you didn't even know, because you're working with people that you already know. So everything is safe and nothing extraordinary is going to happen, because there's no risk taking and there's no fear of what if this doesn't work and what if this doesn't go well. It's like, yeah, well, I have these people and they're known, so the movie goers are going to go to the movies. Crazy. Isn't that crazy? I mean, come on. Then I saw the next movie that I saw, which is streaming, by the way, on Amazon Prime, is the one portraying Princess Diana. The film is called Spencer with Kristen Stewart, the director from Chile, Pablo Lorraine, who talk about artistry when it comes to filmmaking. Completely at liberty, giving themselves the artistic license to imagine the script, the director giving himself the permission to imagine what the character, what this woman, Princess Diana, might have done in those moments of privacy, which takes me back to what I was talking about that it's missing in House of Gucci. To see this film, Spencer, is to see artistry in motion, beginning with the camera and the angle and breaking the fourth wall to make her, the character Diana, the human being Diana, through the understanding of the actress Kristen Stewart, much more in our faces. It is so simple, but it is so powerful. What they were able to capture in this movie, and I don't think anybody that I've listened to until now in their reviews has described it this way. Throughout the movie, from the beginning until the end, there are moments where I don't know if they did it consciously or subconsciously. There are methods. Some of those methods happen to be the same that work for any roles. And those were breaking the fourth wall, the one that I mentioned, coming in our faces without slapping us. The next one, using the significant object that belongs to somebody of importance. That particular object becomes something and becomes someone. The creativity inside us all, I always say, is the inner child. The little girl inside myself, the little girl inside Kristen Stewart, the little boy inside an actor. It's almost like they're kind of looking at each other for support. That beautiful moment is there. Again, it's training, it's an exercise that I work with actors. And then the private moment of the dance, primal, animalistic movement in the way that we don't really carry ourselves elegantly. And even the way that she eats, because they're talking and they're portraying the fact that she had the eating disorder that she was dealing with, bulimia, which is at that time so unfortunate that it wasn't very much paid attention to, and it wasn't considered something that people knew how to deal with. And even the way that she was eating at that time, and that's again primal, animalistic, came in. And that's how I know that this film is going to win the Oscar, because people, audiences, and members of the audiences might not know that those are the methods that are being used by actors who are well trained in discovering their character. Every project that they do, every project they go and they do. But those are what reveal the most of our humanity in us. The revealing of the glimpses of the private moments that we all live physically, internally. When you reveal them, when you bring them to light, that's when the audience connects with their humanity. They might not know that they're connecting due to what those exercises are, but those exercises open the people on the screens, humanness, and the audience without consciously knowing that. They just connect. The feeling, the organic feeling of I understand what she's going through. Even if I don't go exactly through the same things that she is, I could empathize. I could feel the pain in a different situation, but the pain is very, very similar to what I, at this point in my life, felt. So that's how I know it's going to win Best Director and it's going to win Best Actress, most definitely. And I think it's probably going to win Best Script because it was an experiment without showing that's the technique. That's when I know the artistic success is already going to touch the hearts of so many people. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. House of Gucci, Spencer. The next thing, Chris Cuomo. I don't know if you guys know who Chris Cuomo is. He's a political journalist. He was one of the stars on CNN. Cuomo Prime Time. He was bold in the way that he was interviewing guests. I thought he was actually one of their best. Just got let go. He was actually suspended, fired. I don't think he saw that coming because his brother, the governor of New York, had been just made to also give up his position due to a lot of women coming out and saying that they felt sexually and that they were sexually harassed, verbally sexually harassed. And what was found now is that Chris Cuomo, instead of as a journalist and as a member of CNN, instead of staying away from all that turmoil that was going on with his brother, he was trying to use his power to get information from sources and other people that he knew to try to predict what was coming out in advance about his brother, in trying to help him with the situation and protect him from these women, or finding out what these women were going to say and when they're going to say it and how they're going to say it. And this was found out, emails were found out that he was trying to help his brother, and he was trying to use his power, and he was trying to use his sources and trying to protect his brother. And there's nothing wrong with trying to protect your brother in a situation where you do not hide that fact. This is where the difference is between the Democrats and the Republicans. What the Republicans know how to do so well is they know exactly how to play the game in a way that they are using the same tools that I was talking about that actors use, and they're applying them in their political careers and in their political messaging and in their political lives. And those same methods and those same techniques are so powerful, as I just said earlier and described, the fact that they unveil our humanity of bad and good and ugly, but they unveil it. So when you are actually making a point of saying, here is my ugly side, I am the first one to reveal it to you, then you have the power, because those people who are wanting to come after you to say that you've done something badly, too late. They don't have what to come after because you've already exposed that. They don't have to come and expose you and take the power away from you. And this is where these Cuomo's on television and the others on MSNBC and all the other programs, and Biden and the vice president, Kamala Harris, they do not get it. They're playing the same games without having the capacity to observe that what has happened within the last 5 years since the ex-president came to power is that the majority of the people prefer and are drawn to those people who know how to play the games and who know how to use the techniques, the same techniques that give powers to actors to portray great characters, positive or negative, but the ones that will be in your memory after you've watched them for a long time because they expose who they are. They expose who they are, which in everyday life, we don't dare to do that. Well, the Republicans know how to do it and know how to control the majority of the people because they have been able to understand and they have been able to observe. That's what the people get attracted to. What did the ex-president Trump do before he was president? What did he do? What did he do? Was he on television? Yes. Did he have a show that was successful for many, many years? Yes. So he learned. So now Democrats are losing out already because they don't even know how to blow their own horn. I think that's the expression. They don't even know how to actually speak out something that they've done, which is great. They don't know how to impart that to the public, to the masses. They have no idea because they have no public speaking to back them up. They have no experience in entertainment to back them up. And they're not wondering, they're not even stopping to say, I wonder if maybe we could do something, we could hire somebody that can help us understand that side of things that we don't and give it a try, because what we're doing up to now, the old stuff, which is from before and the world changed, they're using the same tactic when the adversaries have completely changed their tactic. They're responding with the old one instead of adjusting and learning and growing into a new one to start from at least a fair level and not from somewhere below trying to catch up. They're not doing that. They're fighting a new fight with old primitive weapons when there are the new weapons, the new tools, which are exposed by the other side. I don't know if they're not able to see them or they do, but they don't understand that there is opportunity to learn how to use those new weapons. If only they wouldn't be so arrogant and have such huge egos to think that they know everything. The reason why I'm talking about this, you may say, why is she talking about political people? She doesn't know. I'm only talking about them because it's in regard to acting and the tools of actors. That takes me back to the beginning of the episode when I said the tools, the training has to be something that is a constant, that is being studied and it's being done every single time. So then you can hope for, due to the training, that you can get the greatest parts of you out and put them into this character that you're portraying, to have a chance of winning in the end and create the best character that you could have created as an actor. It's the same thing for politicians. It doesn't matter that you're a good politician behind closed doors. The times have completely changed. You have to be a politician that is entertainment nowadays. How to try to win votes of the American people who nowadays are into reality shows. We are following public persons in different reality shows. Everybody wants to be famous for 15 minutes. Everybody watches shows on television. Everybody wants to be that, so they identify with that, which is what they want. We all want to be famous. It's becoming so much more a thing of what the present is and what the future will bring, with the podcast, with the YouTube channel, with all these social platforms that you can actually create and put yourself on. The majority of the people, not just in the United States, but all over the world, are into watching entertainers, because the difference between the reality and the alternate reality is very thin line nowadays. So people want to get out of their reality. They want to sometimes travel to the alternate reality that an entertainer is able to make them believe he's creating. It's escape from your everyday life. It's the things that you're not capable of doing for yourself. You want somebody that's going to be able to take you on their journey, and through them feel like you are able to feel heard or feel seen, or all of the things that the people who know how to entertain can provide for you, actors or politicians. There's such a link between politicians and actors, and the world does not do anything about it. And those people who consider themselves to be so smart and know it all on television, and they're still talking about, "Oh, what are we going to do? We have to deliver the message to the people out there that the Democrats have done so much for the person, for the everyday person." Well, it doesn't matter about the doing. It's about making them believe that you've done. Make them believe. It's not about the doing it. It's about the making them believe it. Republicans, even if they've done nothing, they will make their listeners and viewers believe that they have. And that's what the viewers, the spectators are going for. They want to feel in that moment that they are being paid attention to, because they know how to look directly at the person in the eye and say, "This is what I'm going to do. I'm a normal person like you. This is what I'm going to do for you. I understand you. I understand you. I'm looking at you right now and I understand you. I see you. I care about you. I'm looking in your eyes. I see you and I care about you." Where the other part, the other version, the other side is, "Oh, we're going to do this and we've done this and we've done this," and nobody's looking at anybody's eyes. Nobody's looking directly at somebody, because they don't know how to do that, because they don't have the training, they don't have the tools, they don't have the techniques, they don't have the methods. So Chris Cuomo was out because he was afraid to, he didn't know, not that he was afraid, he didn't even know how to do it, that he could have from the very beginning say to himself, "How can I go about this where I don't get later on fired from my job, because I'm going to be found out that I was trying to help my brother, as any brother would." I mean, it doesn't mean that what the brother did was not wrong, but he's still his brother. Of course, he's going to try to help the guy out. But he could have very well said, "I want to take some time off from my job and say, what can I do? Because I'm a lawyer and I'm trying to see if I can help my brother a little bit. Do you think I should speak about it?" So the people out there are not going to make their own conclusions about thinking that I'm already at fault in trying to help him, but I'm hiding it from the audiences. So you're giving them the power already by trying to hide the fact that you are a human with flaws. The Republicans admit their flaws. They say, "These are my flaws. I'm bad. I'm not going to do it again. I'm apologizing. Fine, I'll apologize." They behave and they admit to their wrongdoing, even if it's horrible. Even if it's horrible, don't you see what majority of people are saying? Okay, so that's what happened. That's what they were doing, was whatever they did was really, really bad, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad because they admitted it. They made it seem like it's not so bad, even if it was like a grave thing in a situation that they did. It's not so bad because they kind of they were like, "Okay, this is what I did. Okay, fine. I don't know how else to get it across. But I think this is something that I'm going to try to do, where things of the week, yeah, I'm going to try to talk about like the things, 2 or 3 things from the previous week, to see how they are so much more connected to the training of the actors, or the acting and entertainment, and the line between political and entertainment. And oh my god, Dr. Oz, that just came to me. I mean, I would go on and talk for hours and hours. Dr. Oz, who's this doctor who became very known. I remember it was Oprah Winfrey, I believe, many years ago, that made him famous. She had him as a guest on her show when her show was in Chicago. And then since then, I've heard that he was actually pushing all these remedies that were not medical at all, because of course that made him famous, and he was playing out to, again, the majority of the people watching on his show, and I'm sure he made tons of money doing it. So a medic, a doctor, is pushing all these green beans can save you, but he's now running for Senate, I believe. He's now running as a politician, and people already know him. So he's following in the footsteps of Trump, because they're seeing him a Republican. He sees, he's not stupid like the other side. He's not crazy to not see what's happening. He's realizing that this is what works. I'm already a name. I'm an entertainer. Even though he's a doctor, even though he went against his oath and he was pushing things that were medically not guaranteed, people still know him and they look up to him, because that's the society that we live in. Don't try to change the society. The society is not going to change to go back to what you want as Democrats and say, let's try to fight for the morality of the society. There's no morality of society anymore. Times are hard for majority of the people. They don't have time to think about morality. They want to feel like they can escape from the difficulties. They can escape from this virus that's not letting go. They can escape from moment to moment everyday lives that are difficult. So they see somebody who's promising them and who looks at them in the face through the screen, because they know how to look through the screen and pretend they're looking in their eyes, to say, I know that you're going through a difficult time. Take green beans and you're going to be okay. And then doesn't matter that somebody found him out, that he was actually pushing these things. Nobody remembers that. They only remember, oh, Dr. Oz, oh, wake up to what's happening. Don't fight a new tactic with the old tactic. Don't fight new tools with the old tools. Adjust. As actors have to adjust to the partner in the scene. They have to adjust to what the other actor gives them, moment to moment to moment. It could be completely different from the rehearsal, but they have to adjust. So that means that you're open, you're available, you're open to new, you're open to changing, you're open to trying something new. Try something new. Don't stay with the old. When you see it's getting you nowhere, and complain about the same thing and hope the same thing. Stop hoping the same thing. Hope for the new by observing what's happening and what's needed to give you a clue into which direction and how to approach the new situation our world is in. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. I am so excited that I was able to do this. I'm so excited for this all the time. Anyway, oh my God. Thank you. Kisses.